All right, let's head to the bottom of the first inning. And we'll set the Mustang lineup against right-hander Ben Garrett, who got the win last year, 7-5 in Brush. Batting first for the Mustangs, All-State honorable mention center fielder J.P. Hamer. Shortstop Jacob Ortega hits second. The second baseman Isaac Linker bats third. Batting fourth is Alex Ortega. The Austin Apple, the third baseman, is fifth. Catcher Connor Fajardo bats sixth. Batting seventh, the first baseman Nick Norris. In left field, Nick Castaneda hits eighth, and Dylan Wuss, the right fielder, bats ninth. Defensively for the V-Daters, at first is Bryson Wooltridge. Paxton Shelton at second. The third baseman is Cesar Hinojos. Nick Wellen at short. In the outfield, Caden Schwinton left, Carson Rule in center. Eli Garcilaso in right. Behind the plate is Hunter Ludgate. And junior right-hander Ben Garrett will deliver the pitch here, coming up to J.P. Hamer. 1-0 Brush. It was a walk and then a manufactured run. Swung on and chopped to short, backing up as well. And he throws to first for the out. And J.P. Hamer's retired. One pitch, one out. That'll send up Jacob Ortega. Well, J.P. got aggressive there. He got very aggressive, and usually that pays off, but not in this case for him. And the pitch in the dirt. Took something off it. 1 ball and no strikes. To the right-hander hitting shortstop Ortega. And the offering, and that's up and away with a fastball. Ball 2, no strikes. Well, it'll be short-lived baseball weather. And then it'll look like Alaska tomorrow. That's upstairs. It's 3-0. On deck will be Isaac Linker. The sacrifice fly from Nick Wellen in the top of the first inning has given Brush a 1-0 lead. It's 3-0 to Ortega, and the offering. That's taken for a strike. Groove the fastball down the middle. It's 3-1. Already the Mustangs will have a doubleheader. No baseball tomorrow Thursday against Roosevelt. Swing and a miss. 3-2 through the fastball right by him. Kind of spun in that batter's box. And the 3-2 offering. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Ludgate. And coming back is Ben Garrett striking out Ortega. And there's 2 down. That'll send up Isaac Linker. Here's the wind and pitch. Way outside. Opening pitch today brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Swing and a miss. Count is at 1-1. And the offering swung on and fouled off to the right. Ball 1, strike 2, 2 down, bottom of the first inning. Brush 1. Mustangs looking for their first base runner. And the pitch way outside with a heater. Count moves to 2-2. Ludgate lays down the sign, and the pitch swung on and popped up weakly, but foul over the screen. And the count remains at 2-2. Yeah, the B-Diggers have a scheduled doubleheader at home against Eagle Ridge Academy. Actually, they have a game tomorrow, Thursday at Kent Denver, but more than likely that'll get postponed. The pitch, fastball is high. Ball 3, strike 2. 2 down, the base is empty, bottom of the first inning. Brush leads 1-0 on a sac fly from Nick Wellen. Boy, just struck out Jacob Ortega in a 3-2. Let's see what Ben Garrett does to Linker. Swung on and fouled off to the right on a half swing. Pitch number 15 coming up here in the bottom of the first inning for Garrett. There's the wind and the pitch. Swung on. That has popped up into foul territory on the third base side. Hinojos looking for the baseball, makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ben Garrett. As we will head to the top of the second inning. We'll go to the top of the second inning after the break with the score. The Brush Bee Diggers 1, the Fort Morgan Mustangs nothing. Right here on Morgan County's B106. As well as on the World Wide Web at B106.com. Let's head to the top of the second inning here in Fort Morgan. The Bee Diggers with a 1-0 lead as the visiting team got a sac fly in the first inning from Nick Wellen. Hunter Ludgate will be stepping in 5, 6, and 7, followed by the freshman Braxton Shelton and Cesar Hinojos. Here's the wine and offering. Fastball is upstairs for the right-hander Alex Ortega. Both teams looking for their first hit, but the Mustangs looking for their first base runner after being retired in order by Ben Garrett, who threw the masterpiece 1 year ago. Swung on and grounded to the left side. The third baseman Apple throws on the run and low, but dug out by Nick Norris. And there's one down at the top of the second inning. And here comes the solid freshman Braxton Shelton. Playing second base for the Bee Diggers. Righty against righty with one down in the second. Laying down the sign is Fajardo. And the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the inner half. No balls and one strike. Ortega ready. Kicks and fires. That's right there for a strike. 0-2. Same pitch. Same result. No balls and two strikes to the second baseman for Brush. The pitch in the dirt with a bender all the way towards the third base side off the catcher Fajardo. Ball one, strike two. Yeah, that was simply a waste pitch. Shelton wasn't going to be fishing at that one. I think he was expecting that one. He awaits the 1-2 pitch. Ortega delivers. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Nice defensive swing. Count remains at 1-2. Had some heat up in the zone there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Ortega delivers. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. Fajardo will pick it up. And he will throw out the hitter, Shelton. And there's 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Again, went with an 0-2 on a 1-2 that time. And that's just a senior pretty much outthinking a freshman. 2 down for Cesar Hinojos. Hitting for the right side, the third baseman awaits the pitch. That's right there for a strike, a fastball at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. 1-0 Brush. We're in the top of the second. The bases are empty. And the offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Again, Alex going with a lot of heat. There's a lot of strong arms on this team. Castaneda, along with Austin Apple, Jacob Ortega, the ace from a year ago. 0-2. And the offering. Fastball fouled back. Gets ahead in the count. You see a lot of defensive swings just to remain in the count. The wind and the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball bounces away. Count sitting at 1-2 now. To the third baseman, Hinojos. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning is the senior Alex Ortega. And the offering. Breaking ball is upstairs. Didn't break as like you would like. It's 2-2. Again, we will see what happens weather-wise affecting these games because there's a lot of games that are going to be shifted on the schedule. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball in the inner half. 2 strikeouts in a second inning for Alex Ortega. 1.5 innings are in the books from Fort Morgan with the score. Brush 1, Fort Morgan nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back at Legion Field. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. The Mustangs trail the Bay Diggers 1-0. It'll be Alex Ortega, Austin Apple, and Connor Fajardo against right-hander Ben Garrett. The pitch, and that is up and away. One ball and no strikes. And the offering. Swing and tied him up. Count levels at 1-1. One and one here to the number 4 hitter in the lineup. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Yeah, that's the one thing. Garrett's going to be around the plate. He's thrown 18 pitches, 11 for strikes, and he'll be all over that strike zone. You got to swing away against this junior. And they struggled against him 1 year ago. The offering. Swing and a miss on a bender. Got him with a breaking ball, and there's one down. That'll bring up the third baseman, Austin Apple. Oh, we have strikeouts on both sides here in the first 2 innings. And again, hitting is the thing you got a timeout. Squaring the bunt takes it up and away. 1 ball and no strikes by the senior third baseman, Austin Apple. Middle infield playing back. And the offering. At check swing he went. Count levels at 1-1. Both pitchers with 2 strikeouts in the early going. The pitch down and away with a fastball. It's 2-1. Still looking for their first hit in the game is actually both Fort Morgan and Brush. With 1 out and the bases empty. Swing and a miss and a fastball tailing away. Ball 2, strike 2 to Austin Apple. Digs in from the right side with a slightly close stance. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the same pitch, and there's 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Ben Garrett. Well, when you haven't seen live pitching, neither of these teams have seen live pitching, and that's why right now it's advantage to the pitchers. And small ball has gotten Brush the lead. Let's see what Connor Fajardo could do with 2 down and the bases empty. The pitch. Upstairs with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, both teams were scheduled to play tomorrow. Fort Morgan's game at Roosevelt will now be a doubleheader Saturday beginning at 1 o'clock. And the offering, I keep saying tomorrow, I mean Thursday. The fastball's a strike. And tomorrow the weather's it's not even going to be good enough for football. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. And the pitch to the Mustang catcher. Swing and a miss on a fastball that tied him up and in. 1-2. Well, looking to strike out the side in the inning. Wind by Garrett and the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Yeah, for both teams, once they get that first hit, that could get them into rhythm. But right now, it's all about the pitching. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Garrett looks in. And the pitch. Breaking ball is grounded to 30. No holes. Cannot get to it. It's a base hit into left field. On the 1-2. The first hit of the season goes to Connor Fajardo. Here is Nick Norris. Javier Baquera will be the courtesy runner for Fajardo. And he's got tremendous speed. Let's see if he steals a base, although he's got a very short lead right now, about one step, being held on by Wooldridge. And the offering. Swing and a miss. Took a huge hack. And Norris swung over the top of it. No balls and one strike. And Garrett is bringing some smoke. He's got a good off-speed stuff as well. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Baquera. Yeah, both these teams will have solid competition this year. Without a doubt. The stretch. Norris awaits. The 0-1 runner goes. Swung on and fouled. Back to the screen. It's 0-2. No balls and two strikes on Nick Norris, followed by Nick Castaneda. 1-0 Bee Diggers right here in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch gets away from Ludgate. That'll be a pass ball. Got there on the fly. Just didn't look it in. And Baquera's in scoring position. Yeah, he thought that he caught it, and all of a sudden he had a delayed reaction, and Baquera took off for second. Baquera with about a 4 to 5 step lead. And that is up and away. Close pitch, but missed with a fastball. It's 2-2. Both teams have had one base runner. The stretch, and Ben Garrett delivers. Up and in. Ball 3, strike 2. And remember, pitch count is always an issue as well. Get a max of 110 per game. Garrett building up that pitch count just on these last two hitters. The offering. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out the side here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Mustangs leave a man in scoring position. To the third we go. Brush 1. Fort Morgan nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back in Fort Morgan. Let's head to inning number 3, where the Mustangs trail the Bee Diggers 1-0. A first inning sac fly from Nick Wellen has gotten the job done so far for the Bee Diggers. And they will be sending up the bottom of the order. Eli Garcilaso and Caden Schwint, followed by the leadoff hitter in this lineup, Carson Rule, against right-hander Alex Ortega. Excellent pitching so far by both right-handers. The offering, that's a strike with a fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1. Garrett has 4 strikeouts through 2. Ortega is not allowed to hit. He's got 2 strikeouts. And the pitch, swing and a miss very late on that one. That fastball down the middle at the knees. It's now 0-2. Fajardo lays down the sign. Let's see if he goes with straight gas. The pitch. And that's right there. Down the middle for a strike taken by Garcilaso. And there's one down here in the third. Both teams really struggling to find themselves offensively. But again, that's why that run in the first inning is looming large right now. We'll see if momentum changes at some point or if the Bee Diggers can pick up on that. Caden Schwint, the freshman, awaits the pitch. Swung on and popped up in a foul territory and out of play on the third base side. It is 0-1. That's too bad you couldn't play 2 or 3 games today, especially if it goes this quickly. We could be done here by 5:30, 5:45, the way this is going. No balls and 1 strike, 1 down. And the base is empty here in the top of the third. 1-0 Bee Diggers. And the pitch. And a swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. The breaking ball thrown by Ortega. And Schwint went fishing. It's 0-2. And now he's in trouble. He was guessing on that. Well, he wasn't guessing, actually. I think he thought it was a fastball. I think he just misread it. Alex Ortega kicks and fires. Down and in with a fastball. Ball 1, strike 2. Quickly laying down the sign again is Fajardo. And the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball is down and in. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the very best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. 2-2. And the pitch. That is right down the middle. Fastball for a called strike 3. 2 strikeouts to begin the third for Alex Ortega. Here comes Carson Rule. He walked and scored the game's only run. Right-handed hitter, a senior for Brush. With an open stance. The wine and offering. Swung on and fisted foul to the screen. No balls and 1 strike over the screen, actually. That barely sailed over. On deck, it's Bryson Wooldridge. Again, Brush looking for their first hit, but they lead 1-0. The pitch. Low and away, 1-1. Might have gone with a sidewinding fastball there. And neither team will have easy games this year. It's going to be rare to find an opponent that can't play baseball. 1-1 pitch. Low. Took something off of that ball. 2 strike 1. Yeah, and on select games this season, I'll be up in the stands during the 4th inning. We'll have a 10-4 segment. I'll explain that later on in the year. For Mustang baseball on B106. Swag and a miss on a pitch down in the zone. And it's 2-2. Well, Ben Garrett struck out the side in order. Well, actually not in order, but he struck out the side in the second. Now Alex Ortega looking to do the same in the third. And the offering. And the bender's a little bit high. Had it broken maybe a little bit more, he might have called it a strike, but instead it's 3-2. Here to Carson Rule. Ortega ready. And the right-hander delivers. Swing and a miss, and Rule strikes out. And Alex Ortega strikes out the side in the third in order. He's got 5 strikeouts in the game as we head to the bottom of the third. In Fort Morgan, it's the B-Diggers 1, the Mustangs nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. To the bottom of the third we go in Fort Morgan. 1-0 Brush as Ben Garrett gets ready to deliver a pitch here to Nick Castaneda. The pitch swung on and it ball's fisted deep into left field, going way back, and that ball's shy of the fence. Caden Schwinn chases it down, and he's to second base. Castaneda with a leadoff double here in the second. I thought that thing wasn't hit that far, and all of a sudden it took off. It was a funny sound off the bat, but he actually got a lot of that baseball. And Nick Castaneda has the second hit for the Mustangs in this game, but it's a leadoff hit here in the third. And that'll send up the 9-hitter in Dylan Woods. Well, that's what Coach Langford loves. Go after that first pitch, especially one that was fat right there, the stretch. Squaring to bunt, and Woods lays it down foul up the first base side. That's the other thing he likes, but you got to execute that one. But still has a couple more opportunities there. No balls and 1 strike, or at least one more to bunt. You don't want to try and bunt with 2 strikes and then you foul that off. It's obviously a strikeout. Well, the B-Diggers still have this 1-0 lead, even though they're being out-hit 2-0. Castaneda off of second. And squaring to bunt. And that one's fouled behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Now he's going to have to hit away. Yeah, you don't want to waste this opportunity if you're Fort Morgan. You do have a lot of sticks coming up in Hamer and Jacob Ortega. Not to mention Isaac Linker behind Ortega. 5 strikeouts for Ben Garrett. 0-2 on Dylan Woods. Up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The stretch by Garrett, the pitch, up and in. Took something off of that pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, we're seeing more fastballs, maybe a couple change-ups there from Garrett, and Alex Ortega going fastball, breaking ball. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is drilled into left field, but coming on and making the... Or did he drop it? The ball was dropped by Schwint, and now the throw back to second. Castaneda's back in. Well, now it's first and second. That'll be an error on the left fielder. Looked like it was right in his glove. I was starting to score that thing that quickly, but it was dropped. So first and second, now you've got one of Fort Morgan's best hitters from a year ago with lots of power in J.P. Hamer. You know, he'll be looking for a pitch. He grounded a short his first time up. And a pitch. And he takes it for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on the outer half. The Beet Digger lead is in jeopardy here in the third. Castaneda doubled, and then Woods reached on an error by the left fielder Schwint. The stretch and the pitch. And that is on a inside corner with a fastball. It's 0-2. It got the corner. Oh, boy, was that well located by Garrett. You got huge area the other way in right center, but Hamer's more of a straightaway pull hitter. And the pitch. Swung on in line towards left field. That's a base hit. Nick Castaneda is around third. Castaneda will score on the RBI single from J.P. Hamer. The senior has tied the game at 1 in the bottom of the third inning. And the mistake there from Garrett is that he threw him a hittable pitch on an 0-2. Yeah, I don't want to give him something that easy. Advancing to second was Dylan Woods. Now here's Jacob Ortega. The pitch, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down the third base side. That's a beauty. Garrett picks it up. He'll have no throw, and the bases are loaded. Boy, that was an outstanding bunt there by Ortega. And he didn't even hug the line that much, but with Garrett falling off to the first base side, that ended up working out perfectly. Here's Isaac Linker. Popped into foul territory his first time up. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tied at 1. To the number 3 hitter. Here comes Ben Garrett. Swung on line towards right center field. That's a base hit. That one might score all 3. 1 is in. Here comes a runner around third. Here comes Jacob Ortega. 2 score. They all score. Throw to third. And he's in there. It's a triple. A bases clearing triple for Isaac Linker. And the Mustangs now lead 4-1 in the bottom of the third inning. Well, that right center field gap was wide open. And Isaac Linker took sweet advantage of that one. And again on the first pitch. And just like that, the Mustangs are trying to take control of this game. Here's Alex Ortega. Here's the wind and the offering. Swung on. That is grounded into left field for a base hit. Here comes Isaac Linker. 3 first pitch hits in the inning. And now the Mustangs lead 5-1 as Alex Ortega delivers. That'll send up Austin Apple, struck out swinging his first time up. And Fort Morgan has had hits from every batter in the inning except Dylan Woods, who reached on an error. Courtesy runner for the Mustangs will be Noah Getman, a junior. Let's see what Coach Odell decides to do. It looks like, yeah, we're going to have a pitching change here. Bryson Wooldridge, the left-hander, will be the new pitcher for Brush. We'll take a break and come back here at the bottom of the third inning from Fort Morgan with the score. The Mustangs 5, the Beet Diggers 1 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs now lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. The new pitcher is Bryson Wooldridge, replacing Ben Garrett, who was hit hard in his frame. A double to begin the inning, then singles by J.P. Hamer. And Isaac Linkner had a bases clearing triple to give him a 4-1 lead. Also that bunt single from Ortega, Alex Ortega, then came through as well. Squaring to bunt, and it's upstairs. And taking off for second is Getman. 1 ball and no strikes here to Austin Apple. Ben Garrett now at first base. Looked like Getman was just taking off right off the pitch. Stretched by Wooldridge. And the 1-0. Fastball tails away. Took something off. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Wooldridge, a senior for the Beet Diggers. Yeah, baseball can be cruel. Garrett threw a great game against Fort Morgan last year, and then he was throwing well. That fastball's a strike on the inside corner, but it took that one double. All of a sudden, the air in left field, and then back-to-back hits has chased him from the game. And the offering, squaring to bunt, lays it down up the third base side. Picked up by Ludgate, throws to first low, but that's in time. Getman advances to third. And there's one down. Excellent bunt there by Austin Apple. He nearly beat that one out. Here's Connor Fajardo. He had a base hit his first time up. He had the first hit for the Mustangs of the season. And first-year head coach Tom Odell has his defense playing in. The pitch. And that one sails to the screen. And breaking for the plate is Getman. And there'll be no throw. Ludgate couldn't get it in his hand. It'll be a wild pitch. And the Mustangs now lead 6-1. All the runs scored in this frame. Yeah, that just slipped out of Wooldridge's hand. So we now have a 1 ball, no strike count. And that pitch is down and in. 2-0. Two and 0 to Fajardo. That's in there for a strike. And the offering swung on and fouled off to the right. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, 6 across here in the inning. Awaiting the 2-2 is Fajardo. The offering down and in off the glove of Ludgate. Ball 3, strike 2. This was a 1-0 lead coming into this inning. But Fort Morgan has exploded. That one is low. So it's a 1-out walk to Fajardo. That'll send up Nick Norris, who struck out his first time up. Baquera will be running at first once again for Fajardo. And for Fort Morgan, I believe this is the 8th man. Yep, the 8th man they'll send to the plate. Again, Nick Castañeda got it started with a double. Now, this is actually the 9th guy they'll send to the plate. Throw back to first. Well, let's see, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's see, Norris stepping in. Yeah, this is the 8th guy. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll recap the inning a little bit later on. But 6-1 in favor of the Mustangs. But they've taken the lead for good on Isaac Linker's bases clearing triple runner going. Swing and a miss. The throw to second is right there. The tag and out. The tag applied by Nick Wellen. Javi Becerra caught stealing. An outstanding throw by Hunter Ludgate. There's 2 down. And it wasn't really that close. And the pitch swung on and grounded left side. Wellen has it go right underneath his glove into left field. That'll be an error, the second for the Bead Diggers. As reaching is Nick Norris. And here comes Castaneda. All right, so the inning has gone like this. And the pitch is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Castaneda doubled, Woods reached on an error. Hamer with an RBI single, Ortega with a bunt single. Linker with a bases clearing triple, making it 5-1 or 4-1. Swung on, that ball's lifted foul and off to the right. And then Alex Ortega had the RBI single, making it 5-1. And then Noah Getman would score on a wild pitch. 1 ball to 1 strike, 2 down, 6 across. Castaneda looking for his second hit of the inning. Throw back to first and soft toss there. Norris back in diving. Fort Morgan is one of 3 teams ranked in the top 10 in 4A out of the Tri-Valley, along with Holy Family. And that's a strike on the off-speed. It's 1-2. And Roosevelt also in the top 10. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Boy, Norris has got a sizable lead. Of course, he's got very long strides, too. And runner goes. Swing, and the ball is in the dirt. They're going to have to throw him out as he swings, and Castaneda strikes out. However, he started the big rally here. A huge rally for the Mustangs that resulted in 6 runs. And Fort Morgan scores those 6 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning on 5 hits. There were a couple of errors and a man left. We head to the 4th inning. In Fort Morgan with a score, the Mustangs 6 and the Bead Diggers 1 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back at Fort Morgan, 6-1 Mustangs as we head to the top of the 4th inning. And right-hander Alex Ortega remains on the hill. He struck out the side in order in the 3rd. 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Bryson Wooldridge, Nick Wellen, and Ben Garrett. Wind and pitch. Fastball is over but low. Wooldridge had a sac bunt. That was key for the Bead Diggers scoring their only run of the game. They're looking for their first hit. Here's the wind and offering. Well, overthrew that one in the dirt, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to Bryson Wooldridge. The rare left-handed thrower and right-handed hitter. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. Ball 2, strike 1. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base for Fort Morgan. 1 run, no hits, 2 errors. And nobody left on base so far for Brush. The count is at 2 balls and 1 strike. The wine and offering. And that's upstairs. It's 3-1. Ortega is approaching the 50 pitch mark. And his strike to ball is okay. 27 strikes, 21 balls. And the 3-1. Swung on and tapped to the backstop. It's 3-2. This will be pitch number 50. And Josh Langford is taking that into consideration. He's got Nick Castaneda and maybe Jacob Ortega waiting in the wings, and Austin Apple as well. And the 3-2 swung on line for a base hit off the glove of the pitcher Ortega into center field, and Bryson Wooldridge picks up the first hit for the Bee Diggers to lead off the fourth inning. And here come the Bee Diggers with Nick Wellen. Wellen hit the sacrifice fly, scoring Carson Rule. Yeah, the question with this team to begin the year for Brush is how deep will this lineup be? A lot of young players. The pitch and the breaking balls on the inside corner for a strike. Nasty hook on that one by Alex Ortega. No balls and one strike. The stretch. Throw back to first, back in standing is Wooldridge. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier. When you're on the go, Equitable Savings and Loan. Two-step lead for Wooldridge. Ortega delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Late swing on that one. No balls and two strikes. RBI singles by J.P. Hamer and Alex Ortega. Sandwiched in between those, a 3-run triple by Isaac Linker. The stretch and the 0-2. That is a call, strike 3. A fastball on the outside corner at the knees. Could not have located that any better. Strikeout number 6 by Ortega, 1 down. I mean, that thing was painted on the corner. Ben Garrett grounded to the mound his first time up. Another big, strong right-handed hitter for Brush. Stretch. And the offering. Swung on and chopped back to the mound. To second, that's 1. Ortega to first, that is 2. It's a 1-6-3 double play. And just like that, Alex Ortega retires the side here in the top of the fourth inning. The Bee Diggers did pick up their first hit of the game as we head to the bottom of the fourth. The score, Fort Morgan 6, Brush 1 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back with you in Fort Morgan, where Alex Ortega just made quick work of the Bee Diggers after a leadoff single. And it's a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Mustangs here in this frame against left-hander Wooldridge will send up the 9 1-2 hitters, Dylan Woods, J.P. Hamer, and Jacob Ortega. Yeah, there was really a big error that hurt Brush in that third inning, but nonetheless, the Bee Diggers really were victimized by a lot of big swings by Fort Morgan. Woods did reach on an error, and he scored on that 3-run triple by Isaac Linker. Wooldridge steps in. And the pitch. Ooh, they change up as a strike. Kind of groove that in there. It's 0-1. Temperature starting to dip a little bit, but it's not going to be nothing close to tomorrow. Way outside. In fact, how many of us will be outdoors tomorrow other than to leave to work? And no school tomorrow. Just got that notice. No school tomorrow and Thursday. That's in Fort Morgan. The pitch inside with a fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yep, as reported by the campus portal, no school March 13th and 14th. Swung on line foul. It is 2-2. Now I'm waiting for that announcement of no work, but it's not coming through. Apparently that's not going to be, it's not an option, John. Yep, no school for the next 2 days. So Friday would be the earliest that the students go back to class in Fort Morgan. The pitch, up and away, it's 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wooldridge delivers. Down and in. He walked him. Wooldridge struggling a bit with his control. 22 pitches, 11 balls and 11 strikes. And here comes J.P. Hamer. Grounded to short and singled in a run. He's 1 for 2, both on the left side. 6-1 Mustangs. All the runs were scored in the bottom of the 3rd inning. You can follow it pitch by pitch. iScore Central. And that's a strike with a fastball in the inner half. It's 0-1. Ortega, that's Jacob on deck. And stepping off is Wooldridge. No balls and 1 strike. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Woods. Well, if Fort Morgan generates another big rally here, they might try to shorten this game. So once again, that news coming across. The pitch up and away with a fastball, 1-1. Yeah, Morgan County School District, no school due to the incoming storm, so that'll be for tomorrow and Thursday. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch low. 2-1. Wooldridge has been on that varsity mound now for 3 seasons, this being his 3rd. Got some action as a sophomore, a little more as a junior, mainly out of the bullpen like he is today. Throw back to first. Again, back in diving is Dylan Woods, a senior, with a senior at the plate and a junior on deck. Fort Morgan 6, Brush 1. Laying down the sign is Ludgate. The pitch runner goes. That's taken for a strike. Another strong throw to second. And out at second base is Woods. Boy, Ludgate with a cannon. He's thrown out 2 Mustangs, and there's 1 down. Yeah, they got to think about running on him. And now Hamer up there with the bases empty. Wellen applied the tag again. The pitch. That is a called strike 3 on the breaking ball in the outer half, and there's 2 down. 2 down for Ortega. Jacob with a strikeout and a bunt single. Well, that inning changed on 2 pitches. The throw him out there on the caught stealing and that strikeout of Hamer. Stretch by Bryson and the pitch outside. The bender didn't bend. 1 ball and no strikes. Out of the stretch with the bases empty in the offering. That's right there for a strike with a fastball. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. That's Western Engineering Consultants. Strong commitment to their clients' needs. Sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. 1-1 pitch. That curveball's a strike. Right down the middle, it's 1-2. With the bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitch swung on and fisted foul down the right side. Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 2 down and the bases empty. 6-1, Fort Morgan. In this 4th inning. The pitch swung on and grounded to the second baseman. Shelton off his glove, picks it up, and he'll have no play. 3rd error committed by the Bee Diggers. And the inning is extended for Isaac Linker, who's popped up and tripled, driving in 3 runs. Yeah, if he gets that cleanly, should be able to throw him out. Was not an easy play, but routine enough that it scored a miscue. Pitch to Linker, and he swings and fouls it off to the right. 0-1. Mustangs picked up 5 of their 6 hits at the bottom of the third inning. Jacob with a short advantage, throw back to first, and it's back in there. Linker digs in. Again, the throw to first. Now, Kyle Wellen is at first for Brush. In fact, Ben Garrett's over at third. And the offering. Swung on and fisted to the screen. Count is sitting at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Garrett. To Linker, excuse me. Just past the top of the hour, this is KPRB. Brush Fort Morgan. Swung on and fouled back. Tried to throw him a breaker down and in. So we'll do another 0-2 pitch with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Mustangs lead the Bee Diggers 6-1. And Linker about to dig back into the box. The pitch. Swung on and lined. A nice short hop by Shelton. Flips to second for the out. Nice play. Excellent play by the Bee Diggers second baseman. That was in on a shot. And he made the play for the flip to second. And that ends the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Mustangs do not score. They benefit, or they tried to benefit from an error. Nobody left and a man left at first base. We head to the 5th inning with a score. Fort Morgan 6, Brush 1 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs will go to the bullpen here in the 5th inning with a 6-1 lead. Nick Castaneda is on the mound for Fort Morgan. Alex Ortega moves to right. I believe that's Noah Getman in left. Excellent work there by the starter Ortega. He allowed just 1 hit over his 4 innings of work. Ortega throwing 54 pitches, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that walk scored. But that was it. That was the only blemish. And here is Hunter Ludgate. And the pitch by the right-hander is a fastball upstairs. Ludgate grounded out his first time up to the third baseman Apple. Here's the wine and offering. Bounces away. 2-0. That's kind of the way Alex Ortega started off. He still getting used to the mound. And then once he got into rhythm, he really got into rhythm. Benefited from a double play in the third. The offering in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Went with straight hit. Ball 2, strike 1. The right-hander setting up on the left side of the rubber. Delivers. Swung on and fisted foul. Went with a bender there. It's 2-2. Yeah, this is a strong pitching staff for the Mustangs this year. All right-handers. And that was the case a year ago, just the righties. But I think they've even got more power arms. Breaking ball is a little bit up and in. Fajardo threw down to third, but 3 balls and 2 strikes. Very close. 5, 6, and 7 here in the top of the 5th inning. And the 3-2 pitch. Down and in. I had that 3-2. Ludgate doesn't know it, but now being motioned to first, it's a walk. And here's Braxton Shelton, struck out his first time up. Again, just 1 hit for the Bee Diggers, where they've hurt themselves as well as 3 errors, but Really only one of them mattered. Castaneda delivers, squaring to bunt. It's taken high with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Brush's lone run came in the first inning on a sacrifice fly from Nick Wellen. 2-step lead. And the pitch. Up and in. Throw back to first and blocked there by Norris. Yeah, Fajardo just trying to keep the runner honest. It's 2-0. Well, Castaneda fell behind 2-0 on the previous hitter, came back and nearly got a strikeout. It was really close pitch on that 2-2 that was called a ball. Shelton awaits, and here it is. That is a little bit low. 3-0. Shelton awaits the pitch. That's right there for a strike. Down the middle, it's 3-1. The top of the 5th inning with a 6-1 Fort Morgan lead. 3-step lead for Ludgate. Throw back to first, back in diving, but Norris doesn't apply the tag. No need to there. The stretch. The pitch. And the ball hit him. Right on the lower backside there. First and second. This is the first time in the game that Brush has had back-to-back hitters on base. And here's Cesar Hinojos, who struck out swinging his first time up. He is the number 7 hitter in this lineup. Yeah, I think if Nick just gets that first out, he's going to settle in. And we'll find out if Brush plays some small ball. Fajardo lays down the sign. Looking back. And the offering. There, it's, gosh, where did that miss? Must be a little bit low, 1-0. Boy, if he's missing, he's barely missing on some of these pitches. One ball and no strikes to Hinojos. The pitch. That's a strike with a fastball in the outer half thigh high. And the count levels at 1-1. At second is Ludgate. Shelton at first. Nobody out. 6-1. Fort Morgan in the top of the 5th inning. Looking back is Castaneda. The pitch, squaring to bunt, lays it down, back to the pitcher. The throw to second, and he's going to throw it off the glove of the second baseman, Linker. Here comes Ludgate. He'll score. Didn't go for the easy out at first. And it's now 6-2. That'll be an error on the pitcher, Castaneda. Yeah, tried to get the trail runner there. But the low throw. No RBI, obviously, for Hinojos. Trying to get back in the game now is Brush. Kyle Wellen, a freshman, will now hit up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. 6-2, Fort Morgan in the 5th inning. A walk, a hit batsman, and an error. Runners take their leads. And a 1-0 pitch. Down and in. The tying run is going to be on deck if Wellen reaches 2-0. A freshman at the plate, a freshman on deck. The stretch. And the 2-0 offering. That's a strike. On the inside corner, ball 2, strike 1. The Mustangs at double play depth. Awaiting the pitch is Kyle Wellen, scoring to bunt, throw back to first. Safe. Diving right back in was Hinojos. So Brush has more runs than they do hits. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. 6-2, Fort Morgan in the 5th inning. Welland scoring to bunt again, and he takes it up and in. 3-1. All of a sudden, this might become a competitive baseball game. Without really hitting the ball, but that's part of baseball. 3-1 to Welland. And now the wheel play is being put on, but Brush is not biting at all. Shelton back into second. And now there shows almost a sense of desperation to try to get a cheap out, but the Bay Diggers are not biting at all. And the 3-1 pitch, and he walked him upstairs, and the bases are loaded, and here comes Josh Langford. And let's see if he's going to be able to continue. A walk, a hit batsman, an error. We have another walk here. 6-2, the bases are loaded, nobody out in the 5th inning. And all of a sudden the pace of this game has come to a halt. And if he doesn't retire this hitter, I think Nick might be taken out. He's got to get this hitter now. Caden Schwint, who struck out looking his first time up. That could be a lonely place on the mound. It's the loneliest position in sports. Nobody can bail you out here. Castaneda's got a good, strong live arm, but he's got to get that first out to get him going. Righty against righty. Shelton at third, Hinojos at second, Welland at first. 6-2, Fort Morgan on their home field in the 5th inning. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes. 14 balls and only 6 strikes for Castaneda, the pitch. That's right there. On the inner half for a strike, it's 1-1. How about a bouncer right to the mound? Start a 1-2-3. That would help. That would help Fort Morgan. But of course, Brush is having other ideas of drawing to within 2. Up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now he's got to come in with 1 here. You don't want to fall behind 3-1. Fajardo lays down the sign. This has got to be a fastball. 2-1 pitch. Down and away. 3-1. Yeah, this could be his last hitter. Very well could be. He's got to throw it in there. 3-1. And he walked him up and in. Shelton scores. It's now 6-3. And they have not had to put the ball in play except once. Carson Rule walked and struck out and scored the first run. Here's the wind by Castaneda, the pitch, and the breaking ball is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Brand new ball game, but this is not turning into quality baseball in the 5th inning. Brush doesn't have to do anything other than just take pitches. The pitch, that's upstairs with a fastball, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Hinojos, Welland, Schwint from third to first. And the pitch. That's on the inside corner with a fastball for a strike. 2-1. Out of the windup with the bases loaded and a 3-run lead. The offering. Swung on, line, base hit into right field. Hinojos will score. Welland to third. Everybody advances 90 feet, throw back to second, and out at second base is Kyle Welland. Or check that. That was Caden Schwint out at second. A huge base running error But it is 6-4 on the RBI single from Rule, but that's an error you don't want to make on the base paths. So there's one down. And here's Bryson Wooldridge. A sac bunt and a single, officially 1 for 1. So Nick is still not retired a hitter. It was a huge base running miscue there by Caden Schwint. The stretch and the offering. And that's a strike on the inside corner on the hook. It's 0-1. But the Bee Diggers are right back in this game. They have 2 hits in the game, including one moments ago. Wooldridge had the first one. Runner goes, and that's taken for a strike. Throw to second up the shortstop side. It'll be a stolen base for Carson Rule. And now 2 runners in scoring position. But it's an 0-2 count to Wooldridge. Let's see if Castañeda comes with something special here. Fajardo lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swung on and lifted in the air in the infield. The first baseman Norris makes the catch off the end of the bat. And Wooldridge retired in the pop-up. There's 2 down. Nick Wellen has a chance to tie the game. And he's got enough power to give this team the lead. He had the sac fly in the first inning, then struck out looking. The stretch and the pitch in the dirt, and it skips away to the screen, and here comes Wellen on the wild pitch. It's now 6-5. And advancing to third is Rule. 4 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, now the Mustangs are going to have to counter. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Wellen. That's a strike on the outer half. It's 1-1. Wow, I mean, didn't see this coming, that's for sure. At least not this way. And the offering. Swung on and fisted to right center field. That's a base hit, and the game is tied as Carson Rule crosses home plate. Nick Wellen with a second RBI of the game. And we are deadlocked at 6 in the 5th inning. Wow. Ben Garrett has grounded out twice. Just 2 hits in the frame for Brush, 3 in the game, but it doesn't matter how it gets done, as long as it gets done. And the Bee Diggers have done everything right here. In this top half of the 5th inning, the pitch. Fastball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. A 35-pitch inning for Castañeda so far. 3-step lead for Wellen at first. 1-0. Swung on, that ball is drilled deep down the left field line, and that one's headed for the corner. Around third is Nick Wellen. Wellen's going to score. It's an RBI double for Ben Garrett in a 6-run 5th inning, and the Bee Diggers have rallied from a 5-run hole and lead the Mustangs 7-6 in Fort Morgan. And that ball was tattooed by Garrett. And here comes Josh Langford. There will be a pitching change here in the top half of the 6th inning. We'll take the change with him with a score. Brush 7, Fort Morgan 6 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Well, it's amazingly a 7-6 lead for Brush. And they are still batting in the top of the 5th inning. Sam Shaver is the new pitcher. Alex Ortega breezed through 4. But then Castañeda labored badly here in the 5th inning. And the book is still not closed on him. So the third right-hander, and now Castaneda's the pitcher of record. At second is Ben Garrett. He just drilled a double, breaking the tie. That one bounces in. That was short arm there by Shaver. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, they have plated 6 in this inning. This is the 10th hitter of the inning. And the curveball is inside. Ludgate began this with a walk. And now he's ahead in the count at 2-0. Off of second is Garrett the pitch. Way outside, 3-0. One with a fastball there. Well, you figure these things out in non-conference play. Should say 3-0 on the board. It's just, and that's a strike. Ball 3, strike 1. So the 5-run Mustang lead is gone. The stretch by Shaver and the offering. Swung on and lifted into shallow center field. And outgoing is Ortega, but the center fielder Hamer ways the ball off and makes the catch. And that does it for the Bee Diggers here in the top of the 5th inning. Not before they rally. 6 runs on 3 hits. There was a Mustang error and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th inning in Fort Morgan. It is now Brush 7, the Mustangs 6 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Mustangs trail 7-6 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And to lead it off here for Fort Morgan in this frame will be Alex Ortega, struck out and singled, drove in a run against left-hander Bryson Wooldridge. Way outside with a bender, 1 ball and no strikes. Ortega is officially 1 for 2 in the game. And the pitch. That's a fastball down the middle for a strike. First Mustang run of the game, the RBI single from Hamer, brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. That seemed like it was 3 days ago. 7-6 Brush in the 5th inning. The pitch. Curveball outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Ortega, Apple, and Fajardo in the bottom of the 5th inning. Big innings for both teams. A 6-run third for Fort Morgan, a 5-run 5th for Brush. Line down the right field line. That is trouble, and that one is going to find a corner just beyond the grass there in right field. Kyle Wellen tried to make a play on that, but it's a leadoff double for Alex Ortega. Or check that, Wellen's at first, but I'm not sure who's out there in right. Nonetheless, it is a double. Here's Austin Apple. A strikeout and a sac bunt, so he's 0 for 1. So just like that, Fort Morgan is the tying run at second base. Trailing by a run. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Big lead off of second. The offering right there. Ooh, a little bit up and away. 2-0. Yeah, I'm not sure Ludgate did him any favor. Stood up a little bit too quickly. You want to frame that baseball a little bit longer. Apple awaits the 2-0. That's low. Ball 3 to Austin Apple. Fajardo waits to hit next. Ortega leads off of second. And the 3-0 pitch. That is down the middle for a strike with a fastball. It's 3-1. Yeah, the one thing you know now, you get base runners, you cannot run on Hunter Ludgate. He has thrown out 2 Mustangs, and they both at second, so you're certainly not going to take off for third. Unless it's a wild pitch. And the 3-1. Swung on and tapped foul up the third base side. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Apple. Senior third baseman digs in. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and driven into deep center field, but making the play there is Carson Rule. Back to second is Alex Ortega for the first out of the inning. Hit that one well, but it was right at the center fielder. That'll send up Fajardo. Connor is a single and a walk. And a step off there by Wooldridge. A stretch. And the offering. That's a fastball upstairs. Yeah, Bryson's got very good mechanics, but right now, again, struggling mightily with his control. 26 strikes, 21 balls. You want that ratio a lot closer to 2-1. 1-0. Over, but low. 2 balls and no strikes. Seven for Brush, 6 for Fort Morgan. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. Ball 2, strike 1. 1 out and a man at second here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ludgate lays down the sign and the pitch. Inside, just underneath the elbows. 3-1. Yeah, the best pitcher in this game, without a doubt, was Alex Ortega, Fort Morgan. He had his control, he had everything going, and that's upstairs, and Wooldridge issues the walk. That's the 3rd walk issued by Wooldridge. Yeah, and he knows he's way too experienced of a pitcher to be doing that. Baqueta will be running at first. So now the go-ahead run is at first. Nick Norris at the plate. Norris is struck out and then reached on an error by the shortstop Wellen. 4 errors in this game, 3 for Brush, but they lead by a run. The offering, that tails away on the curveball, and that's the thing. When he falls off that mound and throws a breaking ball, that's not going to be a strike. And you're going to veer off the mound a little bit, but he almost fell off there. 1-0. Better mechanics, that's a strike. Fastball just below belt level, or above belt level, it's 1-1. Nick Castañeda would have been on deck. Now it's going to be Sam Shaver. The pitch, swing and a miss through the fastball right by Norris. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Mustang first baseman, the junior. Oh, Wooldridge certainly capable of the strikeout as well. Digs in the pitch. Low. Oh, he might have gone with a bender there. And it appeared that Norris was starting to swing, but laid off at the last second. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car, Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient. Make them the only stop on the way to the big game, and that's a ball. 3-2. Again, Wooldridge trying to find the zone. I don't think you start the runners here with 1 down. Ortega at second. Baquet at first, plenty of speed. 7-6 Brush in the bottom of the 5th inning. Stretch by Wooldridge. Pitch to Norris. Swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball, let her high. And there's 2 down in the bottom of the 5th for Sam Shaver. His first at bat of the game. Well, let's see if Fort Morgan is going to take advantage of this opportunity. Down by a run, the offering. Fastball, a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. This will be down to a 2-inning game after this one, with Brush potentially holding this 1-run lead. And the offering. Fastball is very high. Count levels at 1-1. Wooldridge is up to 59 pitches, so they might have to go to the pen for him. And the center fielder, Carson Rule, certainly has a live arm. He could be the next in there. The pitch swung on and fouled off. And out of play, it's 1-2. This was a 6-1 lead after 3 innings, and then 6-1 after 4 before the Bead Diggers put up the 6 in the top of the 5th inning. Wooldridge steps off, but he's ahead in the count at 1-2 here to Sam Shaver. And runners go, and in the dirt, blocked by Ludgate. But it's a double steal. Now a base hit gives Fort Morgan the lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch, fastball is outside. Boy, that had some tail to it, almost like a cutter. Shaver did a nice job of laying off. And the number 9 hitter, Dylan Woods, waits to hit next. 3-2 to Shaver. The stretch. And the pitch. And that is a call, strike 3. Wow. Wow, that is not a good call. That pitch was inside. That is not a good call there. I thought that one missed the plate, but it's a strikeout there of Sam Shaver. And the inning is over. The Mustangs strand 2 as we head to the 6th inning. In Fort Morgan, the Bead Diggers maintain the lead. It's Brush 7 and the Mustangs 6 on B106 and B106.com. 7-6 Brush. Let's head to the top of the 6th inning. I'm John Beltran in Fort Morgan. Yeah, it's been a weird game. Of course, the first game of the year. I mean, look at the total. 6 runs on 7 hits. 1 error, 5 left on base for Fort Morgan. 7 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, and 1 left on base for Brush. Braxton Shelton swings and sends a deep fly ball into right center field, way back, and that one's up near the bottom of the fence, around first, into second with a leadoff double for the freshman Braxton Shelton here in the 6th inning on a ball he tattooed off of Sam Shaver. And that's the 5th hit of the game for the Bead Diggers. And here's Cesar Hinojos. Struck out and reached on an error. 7-6, Bead Diggers looking to build on the lead here in the 6th inning. And the pitch from Shaver. And the breaking ball is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch. And the offering way outside. Nice backhanded stab there by Fajardo. It's 2-0. The stretch by Shaver and the pitch. Oh, he bounced that one in there. Well, that left shoulder's flying open the last 2 pitches. Got to keep that thing fairly level and closed, and you fly open, you throw that down and away. The stretch and a 3-0. It's right there for a strike. On the inner half, it's 3-1. Here to Hinojos. I believe he's the right fielder now. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a big hack at that one. Again, 0 for 2, struck out, reached on an error, but that's the thing. You reach on it's a big error that he reached on. That was part of a 6-run 5th inning for Brush. Off of second is Shelton. And the offering. That is a called strike 3 on the inside corner with a hook. And there's 1 down. Excellent pitch there by the right-hander Shaver. Yeah, I thought that one got more of the plate than the pitch to end the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Wellen walked and scored in that 5th inning for Brush. And the curveball bounces away to the screen. A wild pitch sends Shelton to third. He's 90 feet away from extending the lead. And Coach Langford's going to have his infield playing in against the number 8 hitter in the lineup. 1 ball, no strike. The pitch. Fastball up and in. Wow. Good job of Welling getting out of the way. 2-0 to the B-Digger first baseman. Sam Shaver delivers. Swung on. That ball is driven in the air to deep left field. That's going to be caught, and a run will score. The throw to the plate's going to be made, and then the cutoff throw, but Shelton slides in. Boy, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be, as the catch was made out in left field by Dylan Woods. Sac fly makes it 8-6. Yeah, what a strong arm Woods had out there. Here's Caden Schwint. Nope, check that. We'll have a pinch hitter. This will be Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Hondo steps in for Brush. With 2 down and the base is empty. Another freshman for the B-Diggers. Here's the wine and offering. Fastball is inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Hondo. 7 runs in the last 2 innings for Brush. They've rallied from a 6-1 hole. The pitch to the screen. 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of freshmen playing in this game for the B-Diggers today, including a couple of starters. The pitch in the dirt, 3-0. Well, you look at Fort Morgan pitching, and after the starter Ortega, that one's in the dirt as well. That's the 4th walk issued by a reliever, also with a hit batsman. So Maltos Garcia walks on 4 pitchers. Here's Carson Rule. A walk, a strikeout, and a single, driving in a run. Carson is 1 for 2. Stretch by Shaver, 2-step lead at first. And the pitch. And the curveball is a strike. Down the middle on the inner half, it's 0-1. Oh, thigh high in the inner half, I should say. Short lead at first. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back, and that's out of play. A little bit off to the right side. Count moves to 0-2. Well, Fort Morgan's going to be down to their final 6 outs, trailing by at least 2. But who's going to be the next pitcher for Brush? Wooldridge more than likely will not continue. He's building up a pitch count. That's a huge lead over there by Hondo. He's probably going to take it. With that lead, he should take off. He will. In the dirt. That one skips to the screen. Hondo around second. He's going to try for third. The throw, and he's going to be out by a mile. Yeah, but he took too big of a chance. Hondo is gunned down at third to give him the steal of second. But an excellent throw there by Connor Fajardo as Austin Apple applied the tag. However, for Brush in the inning, a run on a base hit, no errors and nobody left. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Brush 8, Fort Morgan 6 on B106 and B106.com. 8-6 in favor of the B-Diggers as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning in Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran. And Dylan Woods will begin the bottom of the 6th for the Mustangs, followed by J.P. Hamer and Jacob Ortega. Left-hander Bryson Wooldridge, which pitch number 64. The fastball's down the middle for a strike. Well, he can throw up to 46 more pitches. And this will almost be equivalent to a start for him. And the offering. Curveball down and away. Dylan Woods reached on an error, scored, and he walked, so he's been on base twice. 1 ball and 1 strike. The offering swung on and fouled off to the right, out of play. 1-2 to Dylan Woods. A run in the first, 6 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth for Brush. 6 in the third for Morgan. The offering bounces in to Ludgate. 2-2. Yeah, if Wooldridge wants to pitch the seventh, he's got to have a quick inning here. If not, I think Coach Odell's going to go to the closer, and I'm thinking, we'll see who that is. I don't know at this point. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Wood strikes out on a tailing fastball. And there's one down in the sixth inning for J.P. Hamer, who has grounded out, singled, and struck out. J.P. in the game is 1 for 3. Down and away with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. That was strikeout number 5 for Wooldridge. Brush pitchers have 9 strikeouts in the game. And the offering. That is a strike. Wow. Man, they're calling that pitch now even further in for a strike. It's 1-1. But no complaint from the senior center fielder. The offering way outside. Been struggling with that pitch today. But you know what? Wooldridge is getting outs. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's doesn't have the best ball-strike ratio, but pitching effectively. That one sails to the screen. 3-1. Yeah, eventually it's going to catch up with him with all these pitches. He has walked 3. 3-1. Let's see if Hamer's taking here. Not a lot of run in this game. All the runs credited to Ben Garrett. Swung on and popped up into foul territory on the right side and out of play. Counted 3-2 now to J.P. Hamer. 1 down, the base is empty in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Fort Morgan has let a 6-1 lead evaporate. It's 8-6 Brush. The pitch. That is a called strike 3, yes. Excellent pitch to the inside corner. Hamer strikes out for the second consecutive time, and there's 2 down. Boy, and let me tell you, he painted that corner beautifully. Here's Jacob Ortega, who has struck out a bunt single and reached on an error. Fort Morgan has done virtually nothing in the other innings, and that fastball tails outside. Yeah, this would allow Wooldridge to pitch the 7th the way he's going now. 1 ball and no strikes. The offering. Fastball is high, 2-0. Again, no school in Morgan County tomorrow, and the Morgan County School District, that is. I shouldn't say Morgan County, but the Morgan County School District. No school tomorrow and Thursday. 2 balls and 1 strike as that pitch is in there for a strike. The offering. That's a strike again. Extending the inside corner. And it's 2-2. Wooldridge looks in the pitch. Outside with a tailing fastball. Isaac Linker's the tying run on deck. Shadows are creeping in. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Ortega. And the pitch upstairs. He walks. 4th walk issued by Wooldridge. That's going to hurt him. Now he's up to 80 pitches in relief. He can throw up to 110. And again, Brush is not going to play again. I mean, they won't play Thursday. That's scheduled for Ken Denver, but they haven't even note changes to that or Eagle Ridge Academy doubleheader on Saturday. Isaac Linker is 1 for 3. A bases clearing triple in the 3rd inning, and that ball it did hit him on the left leg. And again, Wooldridge just all over the place. But he is not allowed to run. And here's a very dangerous hitter in Alex Ortega. He struck out, singled, and doubled. Here comes pitching coach Richie Grauberger. But, yeah, he's got to figure things out on the hill on a consistent basis. Yeah, here's the line so far for Bryson. 3 2/3 innings, 81 pitches, 41 strikes, 40 balls, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a hit batsman. Man, that's a very comprehensive line there. The tying run is at first base. 8-6 Brush in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Ortega does have plenty of power. Fort Morgan ranked 8th in 4A going into the season. That could change if they lose this game. The pitch. And that is a strike with a curveball on the outside corner. It's a great money pitch there by Wooldridge. It's 0-1. Wooldridge looks in. The pitch. That's a strike as well. 0-2. Now he's got Ortega in a very precarious position. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the 6th inning. The offering. Swung on and grounded to third. And Garrett's got it, picks it up, and goes for the bag. And they got the bag. Oh, boy. He got the force at third base. That was a bang-bang play. Jacob Ortega not sure that as he dove for third, but it's going to be a force. And the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. To the 7th we go. In Fort Morgan, it's the B-Diggers 8, the Mustangs 6 on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran as we head to the 7th inning. Austin Apple is the new pitcher for Fort Morgan. Well, they can't get too far behind now. Trailing 8-6. Sam Shaver goes to third. Carson Rule, Bryson Wooldridge, and Nick Wellen for Brush. 1 bad inning for Fort Morgan could cost them the game. Line of the pitch. Fastball is up and in. Quick windup there by Apple. And the offering. Down and in with a heater. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Carson Rule. The pitch. Fastball, a strike, belt high. 2-1. Apple, a senior with a strong live arm. And the pitch. Fastball is inside. Now, that's been the issue with every pitcher Fort Morgan has had in this game is the first hitter they fall behind to these Brush hitters. And it takes them a while. That's a walk. Fastball upstairs. Yeah, this is on your home mound, but again, they haven't had a lot of practice. That is 6 walks today by Fort Morgan pitchers. Bryson Wooldridge is 1 for 2. Brush is holding an 8-6 lead here in the 7th. Wooldridge with a sac bunt, a single, and he popped out in the pitch. And bunts it up the first baseline. That's a good one, but it dribbles foul. No balls and 1 strike. B-Diggers have those gorgeous new jerseys. They had the other ones were nice, but they wore those forever, those maroon ones. These gold with the maroon striping. Really sharp. And the great pants. The stretch. And the pitch, squaring to bunt. Breaking ball down and away. The throw to second, up the second base side, but the tag is a block and safe. The ball was dropped. Yeah, I don't think Linker ever had it in his glove. It'll be a stolen base. Well, no, Apple wants, but there's no appeal there. The ball is actually dropped. Yeah, the ball was dropped. It's not a matter of the anything else there. You got to have the ball in the glove, so it's. Let's see what the count is. Should be 1-1. Let's see which Coach Langford is saw for there. Are they calling? Maybe the hitter to see if he actually squared the buns. That might be what Austin was referring to. Yeah, that's what Coach Langford's talking about. So it's not the runner at second; it's the batter. They'll have an appeal there. So that's what you got to do if you're a pitcher, making sure that you get ahead in that count at 0-2, because that was ruled a ball apparently. Nope, it's going to be 1-1. No bunt attempt. With a runner at second, nobody down in the seventh. It's an 8-6 lead here for Brush in the opener for both teams. The stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss. With a fastball right by him, it's 1-2. Apple looking to put away Bryson Wooldridge. Runner at second is Carson Rule. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded to third, and it's off of Sam Shaver into shallow left field. Rounding third is Rule. The throw to the plate, and he slides. He's going to be safe. Rule is in there. The air by Shaver to second is Wooldridge. It's now 9-6. Second error of the game. Yeah, and I thought he was in there. I mean, I know they didn't like, but that looked like it was a bang-bang play. But that did appear. Yeah, that did appear that he was in there. The throw was a little bit, it was there, but it was a bang-bang play at the plate. 9-6, the unanswered runs in the game after trailing 6-1. And here's Nick Wellen. But again, the inning started with a walk, and that's what's hurt Fort Morgan today. Nick Wellen, a sac fly, a strikeout, and a single. He's driven in 2 runs. Ivan Cardenas is a courtesy runner at second, a freshman for Brush. They have added to the lead. They've scored in each of the last 3 innings. Stretch by Apple. And the pitch. That's a strike with a fastball. Second error of the game on Fort Morgan. Apple looks back. And the offering. Curveballs outside. Count is at 1-1. Oh, we knew Brush would be better this year. I think they've actually looked better at the plate the last 2 innings when they scored all those runs. Swung on and driven deep to right field, way back towards the track, and that one is off the bottom of the fence. To third is going to be Cardenas. He's going to be held up right there. It's a double for Nick Wellen. His second hit of the game, as that he gave that a ride into right field. Second and third. Here comes Coach Langford with nobody out for Ben Garrett. He took that the opposite way. Yeah, and this is, you're going to look back at this game and say, well, it's a high-scoring game, but Fort Morgan did very little offensively except in 1 inning. So you could say they scored enough runs to win, but you got to hit the ball more than just 1 inning. And Brush manufactured a run in the first, took advantage of walks in the 5th inning, and now they're really starting to separate themselves here from the Mustangs. A run in the 6th and looking for more in the 7th. Swing and a miss. A blazing fastball right by Garrett. Garrett has grounded out twice and doubled. 1 for 3 is the Beet Digger Jr. The infield is playing in for Fort Morgan. Runners in scoring position. And the offering. Fastball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett with an open stance from the right side. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball above the letters. 1-2. Well, that's what you got to do. Extend the zone. Garrett's usually a disciplined hitter. You don't see him swing it that much. But he did there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Apple. Breaking ball down and away. And the count moves to 2-2. Just past the top of the hour. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB. Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran. 9-6. Brush in the 7th. The pitch. The bender's in the dirt. Tried to fool him twice. Surprised he didn't go with the power arm there. Didn't go with a fastball. Now more than likely he's going to come in with a fastball. 3-2. The pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outer half. And Garrett strikes out looking. He is 1 for 4. There's 1 down. Hunter Ludgate has grounded out, walked, and popped out. He's 0 for 2. He scored in that 6-run 5th inning. Off of third is Cardenas. Well in at second. Fastball down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Laying down the sign is Fajardo. The pitch. Fastball right there on the outer half. It's a strike. It's 1-1. All right, lots of pitches thrown by Mustang pitchers today. Ortega didn't throw a ton, but since then, whew. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch way outside and high. That was pitch number 133 by the Mustangs in this game. It's not too bad. Using up 4 pitchers. 2-1. Ludgate awaits the pitch. And he swings and lines it for a base hit into right center field. Cardenas scores. Wellens around third. The throw to the plate. Now he stays back at third. Throw to second. The tag. And out at second base is Ludgate. It'll be an RBI. And it's now 10-6 Brush. 2 down in the 7th inning. Nice job of Coach Odell bringing Welland back to third there, because he would have been a dead duck. But again, the base hit was delivered. And that'll go 9-2 to 6, I believe. Here's Braxton Shelton, the pitch. Swung on, check swing, and that's going to drop in for a base hit into right field, and it gets by Ortega. Scoring as well, and Shelton to second with a second straight double. And the Beet Diggers have tallied 3 runs in the 7th and now lead 11-6, scoring 10 unanswered runs, and he did it on a check swing. And that'll send up Cesar Hinojos. All of a sudden, Brush has out-hit Fort Morgan 8-7. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, this is incredible. Wow. Looking back, Apple stepping off. Yeah, so the bullpen has really struggled for Fort Morgan. After an excellent start by Ortega. Swung on, fisted on the ground on the right side, charging his linker. He underhands to first. And that'll do it here for the Brush Beet Diggers in the top of the 7th inning. Not before the Beet Diggers put together another big frame. Not as big as the 5th, but they do score 3 runs on 3 hits. There was a Mustang air and a man left. To the bottom of the 7th we go in Fort Morgan. It is Brush 11, Fort Morgan 6 on B106 and B106.com. Okay, let's head to the bottom of the 7th inning where the Brush Bee Diggers hold an 11-6 lead in Fort Morgan over the Mustangs. Bryson Wooldridge will look to close it out. And he's got the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Austin Apple takes a fastball that tails away. It's 1-0. Apple has struck out a sac bunt, and then he lined to center. He's 0 for 2. The left-hander Wooldridge delivers. That tails outside. Yeah, he's almost throwing as many pitches. He actually has, as a starter would. The one thing that Bryson's got to do is got to work on his control. It's been really lackluster, but he's getting outs, and he's throwing strikes when he needs to. I thought that was there, but it was upstairs, 3-0. A 3-run 7th has extended the lead. The fastball's in there for a strike. 10 unanswered runs for Brush. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Austin Apple. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a ball tailing away. Might have swung at ball 4. It's 3-2. Fajardo on deck, followed by Nick Norris. The offering. That is a called strike 3. Yeah. Cutter on the inside corner. Not sure what he was expecting there, but he's out number 1. And here is Fajardo, who's been on base 3 times with a single and 2 walks. Yeah, this will be a disappointing setback for Fort Morgan unless they can pull off a miracle at this point. That pitch is away. 1 ball and no strikes. They're doing it with 2 pitchers here. Garrett is not the pitcher of record. That's I guess a ball. Whew. Look pretty good from here. 2 balls and no strikes. To Connor Fajardo. Let's see, he'll be taking down by 5. And he will. That's a strike. Fastball in the inner half. Ball 2, strike 1. Wooldridge with 48 strikes, 45 balls. And the offering. That tails away. There's something mechanically. That shoulder flying open. He's not missing in. He's missing away. But again, 3-1. He'll come back from this. He's been doing it all game long. 3-1 pitch. Nope, not that time. Very high, and it's a walk. Coach Odell's got to watch his pitch count because he can't throw more than 110. Becerra, and he's at 95. So he's Becerra running at first, I should say. Nick Norris has struck out twice and reached on an error, so he is scuffled at the plate. Batting here with 1 down and 1 on in the 7th. The pitch. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. And the throw back to first. You don't even want to lead over there. In fact, that's something that did hurt Fort Morgan early in the game. They ran themselves out of an inning on a caught stealing. Wooldridge looks in. The pitch. That is over, but low. Boy, 2-0. Norris a tall guy, but I guess his zone. This really has been, from a vertical standpoint, almost like a hitter's zone. 2-0. That's up and away. 3-0. Yeah, Coach Odell might have to go to a third pitcher. He thought he could close it out with Wooldridge, but he's down to 12 pitches here, and he's down 3-0 in this count to Nick Norris. That's a strike on the outside corner with a tailing fastball. It's 3-1. This will be the 100th pitch thrown during this sequence, or during this game. That one bounces in. It's a walk. Let's see if we have any activity in the Brush dugout. And let's see if we're going to have Pinch hitter Sam Shaver is being called back. Yeah, Nick Castaneda is going to be hitting in this spot. He had a big double to start off the 6-run third inning. Castaneda also struck out, so 1 for 2, but he's going to be hitting in this spot. And, yeah, we're going to have a new pitcher. It'll be Nick Wellen. We'll keep it right here while Wellen warms up for the Bee Diggers. There's got to be other changes here. Yeah, Wooldridge will be in the outfield. But Nick Wellen, strong throwing right-hander. Braxton Shelton will go to short. And let's see who's going to second. Somebody from the outfield would be going to second base, it looks like. But the Bee Diggers have put together quite the comeback. Down by 5 at one point, now up by 5 in the 7th inning. In a game that has lasted well over 2 hours, which is good and bad. More baseball to watch, but not always quality baseball, but it is the first game of the season. All right, Alejandro Matos Garcia is the second baseman. And it looks like Bryson Wooldridge is now in left. Righty against righty. Pitch to Castaneda. Fastball is a strike down the middle. It's 0-1 from Nick Wellen. Brush at double play depth, looking to end this thing right now. Leading 11-6 with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. Castaneda well out in front.
You gotta protect now. Let's go.
Count goes to 0-2. Baqueda at second, Norris at first. Wellen delivers. That is a called strike 3. Yep, right there with a fastball. And there's 2 down. Excellent pitch there by Nick Wellen. And they're down to Dylan Woods, who is 0 for 2. He reached on an air, walked, and struck out swinging. Nick Wellen delivers. Breaking ball bounces in, blocked by Ludgate. He's had a nice game behind the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll find out when Brush is back in action. We know that Fort Morgan will be playing again on Saturday, doubleheader at Roosevelt, weather permitting, at 1 o'clock on B106 and B106.com. Fastball a strike. Count levels at 1-1. The stretch by Wellen. Runners take their leads. And the offering. Low. 2-1. You got 2 big hitters on deck. If Fort Morgan can get them up there, J.P. Hamer and Jacob Ortega. Wellen looks back in the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped foul and out of play. And the Mustangs are down to their final strike. 2-2. Digging in his Woods. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded foul. Went with a breaking ball. Got a piece of it. And the count stays at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the 7th inning. The pitch swung on. That ball is hit in the air to center field. Carson Rule's got a beat on it. Carson Rule makes the catch, and the Brush Bee Diggers have come back from 5 down and defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs in Fort Morgan 11-6. We'll take a break. We'll wrap up this game after this. Brush 11, Fort Morgan 6. on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back at Fort Morgan, where the Brush Bee Diggers have defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs 11-6 post-game show brought to you by Morgan Community College. Here to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. That is Morgan Community College. 11 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors, 2 left on base for Brush. 6 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 9 left on base for Fort Morgan. The winning pitcher in relief was Bryson Wooldridge. The loss went to Nick Castaneda. Time of the game, 2 hours and 23 minutes. The Bee Diggers grabbed a 1-0 lead on a sac fly in the first inning from Nick Wellen. Then in the bottom of the third, Fort Morgan tallied 6 runs. An RBI single to tie the game from J.P. Hamer. A 3-run triple by Isaac Linker. Alex Ortega with a run-scoring single. Then they got the 6th run on a wild pitch. But then things fell apart in the top of the 5th inning for Fort Morgan. A walk, a hit batsman. Number of things happened there along the way. There was also an error thrown in, and the Brush Bee Diggers did a wonderful job of capitalizing in that 5th inning as they tallied 6 runs. With the game at 6-2, Caden Schwint was issued a bases-loaded walk, making it 6-3. Carson Rule with an RBI single, making it 6-4. Kyle Wellen scored on a wild pitch. Nick Wellen tied the game with a single. Ben Garrett with an RBI double made it 7-6. And then a run in the 6th inning. Kyle Wellen scored. Braxton Shelton, who had doubled the lead off the inning. And then 3 more in the 7th inning for the Brush Bee Diggers. As, let's see, they scored that first run when Bryson Wooldridge reached on an error. Hunter Ludgate hit an RBI single. Braxton Shelton with a run-scoring double. And that closed it out as the Brush Bee Diggers won this game 11-6. Brush will not play on Thursday, you would think, against Ken Denver on 10-10 and KSIR.com. They might have a doubleheader on Saturday. Coach Odell says that it's probably less than 50% that they would face Eagle Ridge Academy. As for the Mustangs, they're scheduled to play Roosevelt in a doubleheader in Johnstown, 1 o'clock on Saturday, right here on B106 and B106.com. Mustang Player of the Game brought to you by Transwest. They believe that customers are number one. Check out their selection online or stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today. Transwest. Undoubtedly, Alex Ortega is the player of the game, as Ortega had 2 hits and also pitched a gem over 4 innings. In fact, he was already slated to throw a certain number of innings that he stayed out there. Who knows that they could have won the game, but that was already predetermined that he would throw the number of innings he did. And he is the Mustang Player of the Game. We remind you, you can follow us always on the iScore Central app. And, of course, on Twitter as well at B106. All right, the final score once again from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. Brush 11, Fort Morgan 6. I'm John Beltran on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com.